All right. Hey guys, it's Courtney Mermaid and Captain Peace over here. And tonight we were at life drawing because we're both artists, right? So life drawing is a thing you do on occasion, you know. A lot of us pretend that we go and then we don't actually go. Well, you work all day, you draw all day, and then you really want to go for 2.5 hours and draw some more. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but we've been having a blast going. And tonight I came across, I like to peruse, right? So during the breaks, I like to kind of, oh, what are you doing? And, you know, I'm one of those obnoxious people that drives everybody crazy when you're new and you don't want to show anybody your artwork at all. And everybody's like, oh, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Okay. All right. So a couple of things. It's life drawing. Okay. So calm down. And two, trust me when I say that, I'm sorry that it's so grainy and gritty. I really do need to get a better camera. Trust me when I say that my thumbnails and my sketches for stuff, like my initial ideas, are not masterpieces, okay? They are in fact thumbnails or sketches or doodles or whatever. So I do not judge. None of us judge. I mean, some people judge because they're jerks and it's like, come on, get a grip on reality, but hey. Yeah, there were a couple of I guess younger people there, maybe from in high school, I guess, and kind of scoping it out. And I started doing life drawing when I was in grade 11 and started like learning anatomy, and I was terrible. Oh my God, I was so bad. I didn't want to show anybody anything. Anybody walked by my desk and I flipped the page, and and that's like my biggest piece of advice, okay? So the point of this video, since I didn't really tell you what it was gonna be about, is to don't get, like, if you're an artist, don't be down on yourself if your sketches are not your, you know, the masterpiece you wanted them to be. It's a sketch, for crying out loud. Like, nobody, and I mean nobody, just pows out something totally amazing. There was a thought that went behind it, there was an idea that went behind it, there was practice that went behind it, there were lots of crappy sketches that went behind it. I mean, like, okay, maybe there's a couple of people that can, you know what I mean, that just pull a miracle out of their behind every drawing they do. But for the rest of us out there who, you know, right? What do you say to that? You agree?
Well, here's the thing. If you don't want people to see your stuff, one of two things are going on. You're self-conscious about it, and rightfully so, because it's not very good, or you're self-conscious about it and it is good, but you're just being too tough on yourself. So two things. If you're being too tough on yourself, okay, I'm super tough on myself, and it's something that I'm trying to work on. But if somebody can look at your stuff and point something out, like, chances are, if you don't feel like it's good, your stuff, or you feel like it could be better, you may not know what you need to do to get yourself there. Chances are you might need somebody to look at it, give you feedback and say, hey, it looks like, you know, maybe you're doing this, or maybe you're doing that. Until you get somebody else to look at it, you may never get it. Feedback is the best way to, you know, figure out how to get yourself better and how to improve. Get everybody to look at your stuff. Don't be too attached to it, because especially, you know, when you're working in a production environment, trust me, your lead or your art director is going to tell you exactly what they think, and that's a good thing. It's the only way you're going to get better. So let people look at your stuff. There you go. Boom.
It's a good point. Right? Tiny bit contradicts my last video, but if you didn't watch it, that's okay. You know what? It's really important. Here's what you'd like, in my opinion, oh my goodness, I love saying that. In my opinion, when you ask for feedback, look for the patterns, okay? Like, if somebody says, oh, this should look this way, or maybe you should have done it this way, and then another person says the same thing, and then another person says the same thing, chances are it's more than just their like their personal preference. It's actually something that you might want to look at. So always try and look for patterns. If people are continuously giving you similar feedback, then that is something that you should probably work on. So that's an important thing. And yeah, and don't be afraid. Like, some people are tough with their feedback. I've seen people make other people cry. And that was not that person's fault. I don't think he'll ever watch this video, but it was not his fault. And it was a situation. But, and I've seen, you know, some people who are too scared to give feedback, so they'll give you like false, like, hey, that's amazing, but really you actually have a long ways to go. So it's always a slippery slope. But if you can find somebody as like a mentor or somebody that you trust the opinion of, it is always good to ask for feedback. So that's a good thing.
And if you want to be a professional artist, you better get some tough skin.
Yeah, that is a thing.
You gotta have a tough skin, for sure.
You do. You do have to realize that whatever you're gonna do, it's gonna be for the good of the project and the good of the production or the good of the game, whatever it is you're working on. That's what everybody, hopefully, most of the time has in mind.
Yeah.
So when you're getting feedback, you know, put on that you're in production mode skin. Realize that it's not, you know, if it's your own personal project, you can do whatever the heck you want, whatever, go for it, be crazy and kooky and do whatever. But if you're working on a project for a client, you know, you're working at a company, you definitely want to, always have an open mind.
Yeah,
you know,
because
be positive about it.
The reason that you're getting the feedback is to get stuff so that the client approves it. And usually your art director is put in the position that they're in to make sure that your stuff is ready for approval by the directors, by the client. So, you know, it's not always easy to hear that your stuff isn't there yet or that you need to work on stuff, but each time you redo something or each time you do something, you're gonna get that little bit better. So in the long run, it's really good.
It really is. So that's my roundabout way of saying to the lovely girls who were there today, who were very scared when I came over, don't be scared. I don't bite. I splash, but I don't bite. And I only drown sailors, so that's okay. But no, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be okay with, like, it's so easy to say, right? Be okay with where you're at as an artist. But you are at where you're at. And this is something I'm really trying to focus on myself this year, is your skill level is where it's at right now. And that is the sort of accumulation of all the knowledge and all of the hard work and the effort. And you should be proud of where you're at now, but you should always strive to improve and seek new knowledge. You know, I mean, everybody's different. You're going to do what you're going to do. You know, take our advice, don't take our advice. But, you know, everybody feels that way about their art. Like, and if they tell you they don't, they're crazy. There's something going on there. Because everybody has moments where they're going to think to themselves, like, oh my gosh, they might not say it out loud, but we're all more worried about what you think of our stuff than what we think of your stuff. Like, really, when it comes down to it, and we're sitting in life drawing, and I remember when I first started, I used to draw on both sides of the, well, I still do, but not as much anymore, draw on both sides of the paper in case I like to save stuff, right? You don't want to, anyway. And I used to get really self-conscious of what people were thinking when I flipped my sheets over, if they were looking at my art upside down on the other side of the paper. Honestly, I never look at anybody's stuff. I never look at anybody else's stuff while I'm drawing. I'm too busy focused on the model. I'm doing my stuff. Like, it's just a silly thing, right? These things that you learn with experience and with time. So that's it. Oh, is he yawning? He's yawning.
Sorry,
I thought you were going to say something. I was like, oh.
He's
Okay.
gonna say something?
He's gonna
No,
say
he's
something.
just yawning.
Okay, that being said, I hope you guys like a little bit more of these sort of art talky type things on my channel. You know, it's something that I spend a lot of time doing, and a lot of it's kind of mermaid related too, in its way. But yeah, so if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for other mermaid related stuff on my channel. Things are a bit up in the air right now. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with my channel again. I know it's ridiculous, but hang in there. Good stuff's coming. If you do usually follow me for mermaid stuff, I am on Patreon as well, and my patrons are going to be getting, if they haven't already gotten, an interesting little update as to a special secret detail project that they're going to have input in, which is going to be awesome. So if you want to check that out, link will be in the description below. And other than that, I'm hungry. We should get some food. Let's do it. Okay. Happy swimming, happy tail making, happy... I haven't thought of one for this. Happy arting, drawing, sketching, doodling. Happy art, okay? All right. Bye, guys.